So for me, I always summarise the preparation for interview in 4 Ps. So the first P is preparation. So that's knowing the organisation, knowing the role and knowing your own CV.
Keep it concise, formatting typo errors. There's so many CVs come in with typo errors.
Look at the job spec. The person who writes the job spec is normally the person seeking to hire that person. It's not normally somebody in HR. So the first 4 things that are written on a job spec, make sure that your CV reflects those first 4 things.
You want to show that you are interested in a job, that you've done the research, that you understand the job, that you are enthusiastic about the job.
The next is practice. So that's not just doing all the preparation. It's important to get out there, do a few mock interviews, chat to friends, chat to family members. The next is presentation, so this is at the interview itself, so how you're dressed, making sure you're dressed appropriately for the environment that you're interviewing in, and also to be mindful of your body language as well.
Good firm handshake and always be friendly and be able to have that kind of conversation one-on-one.
I suppose engage with the recruiter, build up a good rapport with your recruiter at an early stage.
And the last P is pertinent questions. So I always like for candidates as an interviewer to have 1 or 2 kind of key questions, because for me it shows that they've really thought about the company, thought about what their career might look like, and you know, it shows me that they're serious about the job.
The one thing I always say to people in an interview is ask for the job. You know, if it's a job you want to do and you're passionate about doing it, then ask for it at the end of the interview when you've worked out whether it's something that you think will suit you. Don't be afraid to ask for it.
Don'ts for an interview would be etiquette, obviously the dress code is very important. Know the business that you're coming into, that you're dressed appropriately, and I suppose body language.
Don't be rude to anybody, so even at the receptionist level, you're kind of being interviewed by everybody in the organisation. So if you meet somebody at reception, don't be rude to them, always kind of be friendly to them, because they always feed it back to the HR person, kind of going, oh, they were nice or they weren't nice.
I think people, forget that your interview really does start before you enter the building, and to have your hat on before you come in.
Don't apply for a job you don't want to do. Don't apply to a company that you don't know anything about. Make sure it's something that you want to do and that you're passionate about, and that will always come across. If you don't, that will come across as well.
I don't think there's any tricky questions as long as you can prepare for them.
One of the trickiest questions that I find that people have difficulty answering is when you have to talk about themselves. Not about what they've done, but about them.
Don't stick to the standard routine questions that you potentially could be asked, because you don't want your employer to think that you've rehearsed your questions, that they need to seem genuine.
As long as you can answer a question and swing it in such a way that makes it more positive to the employee, that you can answer anything. There is definitely jobs out there. Network, use LinkedIn, use the likes of Twitter, Facebook.
Adopt a really structured approach to it. Treat it like a job. It takes time to prepare applications, to prepare your CVs, to prepare your cover letter. So it's important to do your research and target every single application to every job you're applying to. And I always recommend as well keeping track of who you've applied to. So the name of the person that you're applying to, keep a spreadsheet. Send an application on this date, follow-up call 2 weeks later.
Be patient, keep searching, be active, use all possible medias that you can.
It's a numbers game. Keep the applications going, the interviews will follow, and hopefully an offer thereafter.